college leadership team, to the parents assembled in the hall today or watching at home online, parents and friends. To the staff who are, again, both present here in the hall with us and back in classrooms, and most importantly, to the Nudgee men who are with us today, all back in classrooms. You are all very, very welcome to our academic assembly for 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, today at the College Assembly, the focus of course is our academic success. And we will hear from our grade 12 students from last year and see many subject duxes presented along with very high ATAR achievers. We will see presented today our gold, silver and bronze medalists of the students who are here in 2021. There'll be music presentations. We'll award the Inter-House Swimming Trophy. And of course, we'll hear wise words from Mr. Fulliger and others. You are all very welcome at today's College Assembly. To students, a couple of administrational announcements. Boys, if you are receiving a music award today, you're being presented for GPS music, perhaps it's the AMEB, ANSWER or SHEP awards. After you receive your academic medal, you're reminded to head out to the foyer to get organised for that presentation. To Year 11 and 12 students, gentlemen, after today's assembly, we will just have, please stay, and we will have a quick meeting about some things that you need to know over the next week or so. And also, I would say to boys in the hall and to back in classrooms, on at least one occasion during today's assembly, but perhaps twice, we will have a couple of minute break before we go on to our next section, because we recognise today is a long time to stay focused. Ladies and gents, it's great to be here. As always, we gather as a Catholic community, and to lead us in prayer today, College Vice Captain Xavier Rawadi.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Lord of all creation, you have made us with all the powers of mind and body. We know that no development, no maturity of mind is possible without effort. Help us to persevere in our efforts to study, to overcome the feelings of weariness and laziness, of boredom and frustration that so often weigh us down. Fill our minds and spirits with your light and strength. Teach us how to study in the way best suited to our different talents. Heart of Christ, you know what it felt like to grow in wisdom and knowledge. Help us to share this experience with you. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Live Jesus in our hearts. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Thank you, Xavier. Thanks for the welcome from Mr. Todd as well. And I'll echo those warm welcome to everybody who is here. Parents of current boys, parents of last year's seniors, of course, staff, the Year 11s and 12s who are here with us in the hall, other Nudgee men across the college, all those people who are watching online today. And in particular, very, very warm welcome to the class, the representatives of the class, the senior class of 2020. Boys, it is great to have you here today, young men, taking those next steps in your lives. It's be able to acknowledge last year, but also to look forward to what's ahead for each of you. It's good to be back. It's a bit of a humbling experience to spend a few days lying on your back in a hospital attached to a machine and IV antibiotics, but it's good to know that you recover and be warmly welcome back as well. So I'm delighted to be here. I use the analogy of kind of at various times when I've interviewed boys over the years, and boys are starting mid-term or a little bit later than the year, sometimes I say to them, boys, you're jumping on a moving bus and the bus is not stopping for you, no matter what your story might be. And the Nudgee bus is not stopping for me either, nor should it. So it's me getting up to speed with all those things that are going on, and there's been a lot happen even in these first couple of weeks of the school. But terrific to be here. Can I particularly congratulate Declan Cabot, and we'll hear from Declan, the Ducks of 2020. Under the new system, and Mr. Sepp might talk about this later, it's no longer possible for us to acknowledge the Ducks or these prize winners at the end of the year because of the way the system now works. We choose to wait to those final results to come through. Ordinarily, the Ducks would have been presented at the awards evening that concludes each year. We can't do that now, but we can do that today. But it's a great honour for Declan, great for us to have him here, and a great honour and of achievement for him amongst all those young men over the years who have achieved that award. Great to have the subject Duxes across the full gamut. While we call it the academic assembly, it's around the endeavours of learning with your hands or learning with your mind, that whole gamut and range of pursuits that we have in the classroom that are acknowledged today. I must tell the boys who are here, who are representatives of last year's class, how proud we are of the results that you achieved. In the year of the pandemic, in a year of great interruption, in the first year of the new senior system, if we compare apples and oranges, and Mr. Johnston and Mr. Sepp have the program to kind of compare apples and oranges. So when we compare last year's results with the results of those boys who had OP over the last 20 years, where do you sit in those 20 years? I need to tell you, you were the second best ever group in the last 20 years at the college, only ever beaten by the senior class of 2017. So there's a lesson in life for each of you, and you learnt those lessons day to day last year about overcoming tough times, and you certainly did. And I'd really ask you boys to tell others of your senior cohort as you see them at various endeavours, universities and parties and pubs and wherever else you boys gather over the days ahead, to let them know how proud we are that you were the second best. No disrespect to that amongst the senior group. So good job, boys. Well done. Can also acknowledge the boys who received their academic prizes today. It's a great acknowledgement of what you did last year, and good job, well done. But that is last year. It should be an incentive for this year, boys, to do even better, to strive to go further, to challenge yourself more. Can I repeat what I did last year and get a little bit better in those areas where I need some growth, where I can be better? Is that in organisation? Is that in attitude? Is that in application? Is it how I study at home? Is it how I fare in an exam pressure situation? All of us have room for improvement, and I encourage you boys. But at the same token, so boys, good job, well done. To acknowledge the gifts that God has given you and to fulfil those through the opportunities that you're provided in the classrooms around the school here. To strive to be better, to be truly signum fide is a good job, well done. Boys, last Friday, many of you were here with us, and some parents were likewise of the Year 12 seniors here. Last Friday was a terrific commencement to the school year, a really memorable way to launch our 130th year. Without going over old ground, but reminding you of some of those key moments in that assembly, and I acknowledge there'll be people here who didn't hear that story. If you can go and look online, I'd advocate listening to a couple of the wonderful speeches. One was the story that Peter Dillon shared with us, the homily in the Mass. Peter Dillon, an old boy, who spoke about the field of dreams, the notion of building it and they will come, was quite inspirational. Leo himself, who was in the front row, I'm not too sure where Leo is now, probably out doing his duty somewhere, and his sharing of his journey as a student coming to Nudgee and setting the scene for the seniors of 2021. It was a terrific speech, and Leo, well done. And to Damien Price, who's received incredible rave reviews for his speeches around Ray Valmadre and Ted Faust, and what it means to be a good man, what it means to be signum fide, was truly, truly inspirational. So those three speeches and those other things that happened during the day really set the scene for us for 2021. I look forward to hearing from Declan today and sharing a little bit of his insight, his wisdom about what he learnt in the journey at Nudgee as something, as a motivator for you young men in the days and months and years ahead at Nudgee. I'd like to share another story which I think resonates Perhaps with you as students, because there's a student in this story. Perhaps with your parents, because there's a parent in this story. And perhaps with us as teachers, because the teachers are in the background to this story. It's the story of a guy of the past, a guy called Thomas Edison. Maybe those of an older generation will remember who Thomas Edison was. Younger people might think, scratch your head, I've never heard of his name. Who was Thomas Edison? He lived in the late 1800s into the early 1900s. Perhaps the America's greatest inventor. What did he do? He developed many devices in fields such as electric power generation, mass communication, sound recording, motion pictures. In fact, he's given credit to have invented the very first light bulb. Perhaps not the light bulb as we know today, but a light bulb in its original forms. He was one of the first inventors also to apply principles of organised science and teamwork to the process of invention, working with researchers and employees. So, that's what he achieved. But there's something in his story that many people don't know, and that's the story of his childhood, and I share this with you. So there's young Thomas. One day, young Thomas Edison came home and he handed a paper to his mother. My teacher gave this paper to me and told me to give it only to you. His mother's eyes were tearful as she read the letter out aloud to her son. Your son, and she read the letter, your son is a genius. This school is too small for him and doesn't have good enough teachers for training him. Please teach him yourself. She was a trained teacher who was looking after her family and not working as a teacher at the time. So she homeschooled Thomas Edison to become one of the world's greatest inventors. After years, Edison's mother died, and he was renowned as one of the greatest inventors of the century, repeating myself. One day he was going through, years later, he's going through his old family things. We all collect old family things, or you will, boys, over time. Suddenly he noticed a folded piece of paper in the corner of a drawer. He took it out. He opened it. He read it. What did it say? Your son is addled. Addled is an old-fashioned word, very rarely used. What does addled mean? He's confused. He's not a very clear thinker. He's not a great speaker, can't express himself. So the teacher is saying, your son is addled. We won't let him come to school anymore. So his mother's tears, she was being a bit deceptive. The note didn't say he was a genius. The note didn't say we can't educate him. The note said, your son is addled. Keep me at home, look after him yourself. Thomas Edison cried for hours when he wrote, and then he wrote in his diary, Thomas Alva Edison was an addled child. That, by a hero mother, became the genius of the century. So there's something in there about the parent and how she responded to that. There's something about Thomas as a student and the rejection or his perhaps perception of who he was as a young man in that. And there's something about the role of the teacher's lack of role almost in that story, and the mother taking on that role. So over the years, of course, what did she do? What was the secret to Mrs. Edison's success as a teacher, as a mother? What was Thomas's, what did he take on? So these have become the maxims or her truisms, things that she believed or instilled in her son. And to be fair, they're absolutely true today, 100 years on almost from his death. Don't be afraid to fail. Keep trying. Learn from failure and try again. She encouraged him always. Boys, you will fail this year. I will fail this year. I will make mistakes. You will make mistakes. But that's not the end of the story. It's always how we respond. How resilient are we? How do we step back up to that challenge when we do get knocked back in the classroom, in the music room, in the boarding house, on the sports field, wherever it may be? Went on, and sometimes when you call academic awards, we're thinking we're just talking about maths and science. Well, learning is much broader than that, and you know that. She advocated it's okay to work with your hands and your head. Not everything important comes from books. Experience the world and learn from it. So there's lots of ways we can learn in different areas. We all have different gifts and talents. That was mentioned by Xavier in the prayer today. Each one of you bring gifts and talents and limits and limitations to the classroom and to school every day. You as well as me. Having said, you don't need to learn everything from books. She also did say, boys, so it's not an easy get-out clause here. Read across the entire span of literature, not just what you like. Reading means getting books. Reading means engaging with literature. And a broad sense of that, I think, is important, obviously. And finally, something that's become a truism across the world today. Never stop learning. Keep improving yourselves. As these boys graduate, and as good as they've done last year, they have to step up to first year at university. They have to step up to the first year in the workplace. They have to step up to their apprenticeship and keep on learning. Just as you have to, as you step from year 7 to 8, from year 11 to 12, you must keep improving. So boys, there's something in that story, I hope, for you, but there's something in there, I think, for parents and for teachers as well. Something that we can take on and consider in the days and weeks ahead. So by way of wrapping up then, can I just go back to last Friday again? And while we had some good speeches, I believe there was something else in this hall last Friday, when the representatives of Turrbal people led us in acknowledgement of country. The way we engaged with that and responded to them as they led us in that honouring of the land on which we stand. It was a beautiful moment, but there was some spirit in there, that Indigenous spirit that is part of the land of which we call Nudgee College was there. I think it was there, and Peter Dillon talking to you as an old boy and as a priest about what it means, about what Nudgee spirit, about Signum Fidei, as it was when Leo and Brother Price spoke to us as well around Nudgee and what it means to be Signum Fidei. So when you bring those three things, the Holy Spirit called forward by Father Peter, the Turrbal people and the Indigenous spirit, and then that beautiful thing we call Nudgee College spirit, you pull those three things together. Boys, those things don't happen at too many places when they start a school year. It's something that has to be nurtured and treasured every day, but not just in the hall on the first Friday of February. It's got to be nurtured today, one relationship at a time. One relationship with a teacher, with one other boy, a boy you like or a boy you don't get along with. That's where it's nurtured. It's nurtured one class at a time in your learning, one lesson at a time. It's nurtured one day at a time. And if we take those moments and we take those days and those lessons one at a time throughout the year, we're going to make 2021 a fantastic celebration for the 130th. I look forward to it, men. Thanks very much.
Welcome back, Mr. Fulliger, and welcome to parents and friends here with us today and online. Welcome to the Year 12 cohort from 2020, perhaps filing out for their last time on stage here at Nudgee. Lovely to see you. Of course, to our Year 11 and 12 boys here watching, and our gold, silver and bronze prize winners who we'll see on stage very shortly. I'm a bit of an addled mind myself, Mr. Fulliger. I use my habits of mind to try and manage impulsivity and think about my thinking, and certainly today wouldn't come together without the help of the people that work around me. So to Mr. Crichton, to Mrs. Scott, to Mrs. Booth and Mrs. Morley, thank you very much for organising such a wonderful celebration today. Put your hands together for them. I spoke at Assembly last week about catching excellence. And I think catching excellence is something that we're bringing to life today. Lots of excellent achievers. But I'm sure there's lots of excellent achievers in PC groups now who might be here with me semester 2. And as I alluded to before, showing those habits in mind is the way to do that. And up there on the screen, I've got our learning habits. And so if you're there in PC right now, think about, what can I do today? Next lesson, as Mr. Fulliger said. And just start chipping away at it. We also last week looked at the lyrics of our school song, and when everything else failed us, we dared to whisper love. I'd probably also add to that, we need to dare to start whispering learning. It's something we need to add to our thinking all the time. Because alongside our faith, our Signum Fidei, that we're going to take with us out into the community, the other enduring thing you're going to take with you is what you learn. And as Thomas Edison did, you're going to learn out in the world, and you need the skills of our habits of mind to do so. So that's really important. So today's not about me talking to you, today's about celebrating what you've done, and we're going to start with our 2020 Year 12 prize winners. Just to remind you boys that these boys graduated at the end of last year, but we didn't have their academic results. We eagerly anticipated, we're in on a Saturday on the 19th of December, a few key staff members and Mr. Fulliger waiting for the results to come through. And as he's expressed, we were very excited, not just for the boys here today, but for the entire cohort. And adding to that is all the wonderful offers of employment and university placement and other further education that they've provided. So that was fantastic. So we're going to start today with our subject duxes. And I'd like to invite Mr. Fulliger up to please congratulate these boys. We're going to have a couple of groups that ask you to hold your applause to the end. Cooper Bentley, General Mathematics subject dux. Benji Bowker, Design. Oscar Coots, Engineering Pathways, and his younger brother Brasher in Year 11 will accept the medal on his behalf. Ben Delacourt, Co-Dux of Essential English. Rowan Ferreira, Co-Dux of Visual Art. Jack Gillen, Japanese. Elijah Hill, Co-Dux of Visual Art. Xavier Nicolaides, Co-Dux of Economics. Please congratulate these students on their achievements. Lovely. You'll notice that there are a couple of apologies, ladies and gentlemen. That's because these guys are, getting off on their lives. So we've got a couple of people who are in the army or working today. So we wish them well in their absence. So the second group of subject duxes. Ethan Oswald, Co-Dux of Religion and Economics. No, sorry. Tom O'Reilly. Tom Budowski, Skills for Work and Vocational Pathways, Cert 2. Josh Price, Drama. Lewis Shaw, Business Diploma. Harrison Swain, Accounting. Mitchell Watson, Music. Ben Webber, Legal Studies, Co-Dux of Philosophy and Reason and Co-Dux of Religion and Ethics. Please congratulate these boys. Thanks, gents. Of the apologies there, we had some people starting university in New South Wales and also someone who's off in Canberra in the Australian Defence Force, so a couple of apologies there. The second round of presentations are awarded to those boys who achieved fantastic ATAR results. And just to put that into context before I introduce them to you, as I said, the ATAR is the Australian Tertiary Admissions Rank and it replaces the OP. I don't know, for many parents in particular, that's a generational change that started in 2020 and continues. There are around about 60,000 students in Queensland who got an ATAR, and they ranked them all the way from 99.95, 99.9, and so on, all the way down to 0. So the boys that you will see today in front of you are all in that top 3% of those students. So our ducks and our Proxime Assessor, or second ducks, were in the top 100 students out of 60,000. That gives you some sense of scale about the achievements that these boys have made. As Mr. Fulliger said, our second best set of results in the last 2 decades since the turn of the millennia. And once again, comparing apples and oranges, if we were talking about OPs, we'd be talking about 4 OP1s and 11 OP2s. And so that's really fantastic results. So, Declan Henry is an apology today, but he received an ATAR of 97.3, loved maths with Miss Nudgee, and he was also a subject dux in business and co-dux of economics, so we wish him well. But we do have with us Tom Walsh, an ATAR of 97.3, and loved Japanese. And Nudgee always taught him to persist, one of our habits of mind, and balance his schoolwork with extracurricular activity. Next we have Matthias Dalsted, and he is at the Australian Defence Force in Canberra, but he specifically asked for Miss Dee Lyon to accept his award for him, so I'll ask her on stage to accept that award. And interestingly, he hopes to write a novel. Actually, he hopes to write 2 novels. Next we have Blake Keir, received an ATAR of 97.6. His favourite subject was chemistry with Miss Corley, and he's looking to do medical imaging at QUT and eventually to become a doctor. Aaron Tran is an apology today, but due to work commitments, and he's also looking to do medical imaging at QUT, so Blake, you'll share a lecture hall with him. Zach Crow received an ATAR of 98.25, and he loved PE with Mr. O'Regan. He's hoping to be a physiotherapist, and I'm sure he'll get there. He might come back and look after the first 11 football team at some stage in his future. We wish him well. He was also the subject dux of physical education. Oliver Horwood, 98.45. He said his favourite subject was maths, but he was in my R&E class, so I'm a little bit miffed about why he didn't say that. But anyway, we'll move on. He's also looking to go into physio and perhaps making that into a medical degree as well. And importantly, I think he wants to give everything a go, and I think you should give everything a go here at Nudgee College. Next up we have Hamish McLaughlin, 98.45, and he enjoyed specialist maths with Mr. Sugars. And importantly, he received a $30,000 scholarship at QUT, which is a wonderful achievement. And he's going to be a quantitative analyst, so he'll probably be able to tell you how much 30,000 means to him. All right. Bailey Delapina received an ATAR of 98.8, and he also enjoyed chemistry. He's looking to do engineering at UQ, and like Ollie Horwood, get involved in as much as you can is his mantra. Caleb Georges, 98.8 as well. There's a theme here running in chemistry, Mrs. Corley and Mrs. Yuan, so I don't know what's going on there, but it's doing good things. Looking to do advanced science at UQ, and also making, he said, importantly, to engage in learning and enjoy your learning. That's important. Sam Shimming, unsurprisingly, he loved music extension, and he also enjoyed his science and his maths. He received a scholarship to the Queensland Conservatorium of Music, which was a fantastic achievement. He hopes to travel, explore music, and this is interesting, I didn't know this about you, do some powerlifting. So a side of you I didn't know as a student, so fantastic. I better look out. Next up, with an ATAR of 99.1, is James Hong. Loved physics. Medical imaging seems very popular. I don't know how these trends start, but he'd like to sort of also move into medicine as well. And he really values the limitless opportunities that Nudgee offers you, and if you want to better yourself. And last but not least, Alex Watson. 99.2 for Alec. Also loved maths with Mr. Sugars, looking to go into finance and economics with honours at UQ. And he hopes to be an investment banker or management consultant and perhaps spend that $30,000 scholarship. Indeed. So, ladies and gentlemen, could you please put your hands together for these fine young men? Wonderful. All good? The two final presentations for our 2020 cohort are the Proxime Assessor and the College Ducks, our two most important learning and teaching awards. So it's my great pleasure to present to you with an ATAR of 99.85, James Armitage. Please give him a round of applause. James is a brilliant mathematician and looks to continue his study of mathematics at QUT. Enjoy the limelight, James. He wants to sort of get involved in finance when he leaves, when he finishes uni. Stay there, stay there. You're on notice. Doesn't like the bright lights of the stage. And he was also the subject duxed of specialist mathematics. Please put your hands together for him. You can go now. That's fine. And in a short moment, I'll present our College Ducks, and he will speak to you after he's presented with the wonderful-looking Ducks trophy. So with an ATAR of 99.9 and College Ducks of 2020, Declan Cabot. Just before we hear from Declan, much wiser words than mine, no doubt. Favourite subject, chemistry. Bachelor of Medical Science is where he's heading to at Griffith, and obviously looking to move into becoming a doctor and perhaps a physician in emergency medicine one day in the future. He remains involved in the college. He's heavily involved in the cross-country program, which is lovely to see an old boy coming back so soon and being involved in the college. I urge you guys, if you can, to do so, and I know a few of you already are, so I appreciate that. Nudgee's taught him about the strength of community and that when people support one another, they can overcome their challenges and achieve their goals. Not surprisingly, he was also the subject ducks of biology, chemistry, English, methods maths, physics, and study of religion. Can you please welcome Declan Cabot?
Good morning, Mr. Fulliger, staff, parents, and men of Nudgee. 5 years ago, my family received the life-changing news that my brother and I had been accepted into Nudgee. To say we were excited about what awaited us would be an understatement. As is procedure, we politely informed my previous school that we would not be returning. However, the response we received from some was quite surprising, and to be honest, shocked me. 5 years later, I can still recall the parting words from one member of that community. I hope you realise you are making a mistake. If you go to Nudgee, you'll become no more than a little fish in a very big pond. Today I can say that enrolling at this school was far from a mistake, instead being one of the best decisions my family have made. If there was one thing that you should take from my story, it would be that your Nudgee experience is what you make it. I could have listened to the dismissive words of that person, allowing self-doubt to hold me back, but instead I used their words as motivation to reach my full potential. Yes, Nudgee may sometimes appear to be a big pond, where it is easy to blend in. But one of the greatest aspects of this school is the diverse range of opportunities on offer. I guarantee that everyone will be able to find something they are passionate about, so don't be afraid to share your talents. This is of particular importance when it comes to academia. Never underestimate your potential or allow yourselves to be run down by peer pressure. Instead, rise to the challenge and strive to catch excellence in all that you do. The primary message I would like to convey is that attitude is everything when it comes to success. You will only get what you work for, not what you wish for. It doesn't matter whether you're on the sporting field or in the classroom. Without hard work, the goals you set will rarely come to fruition. I stand before you today, yet can assure you that I was never the most naturally gifted student in my cohort. I was, however, willing to put in the most effort to achieve my aspiration of studying medicine. To achieve any goal, you will need to make sacrifices. On this journey, you may get to a point where you don't think you can push yourself any further. However, like Mr. Johnson discussed earlier this year, be prepared to chase the dream, no matter what. If you hit a hurdle along the way, take a step back to gain some perspective. But never forget that the hardship will always be worth it in the long run. Hence, my next piece of advice is to persevere. There will be times where you fall short, but use these moments as learning opportunities. Rather than getting bogged down, seek support from those around you to discover what you could do differently next time. Just ask any of my teachers and they will all agree that I was continuously requesting feedback for my work. So if you don't understand a concept, be proactive. The staff here at Nudgee are incredibly supportive and dedicated to their students. Thus, if you ever need assistance, seek it immediately. My final message is to be disciplined. In order to succeed with this, cultivate your organisational skills. Plan your schedule in advance, noting down any due dates, training sessions, or other forthcoming events. Be detailed in your planning to limit procrastination, ensuring that when you sit down to study, you know exactly what to prioritise and where to begin. When it comes to assignments, get on top of them early, and always approach a draft as though it is your final copy. This enables you to receive purposeful feedback, preventing you from wasting time rewriting large portions of your assessments. Furthermore, when planning your week, allow some time for yourself. To be successful academically, it is vital to have an outlet. For me, this was running, but I implore all of you to find something that relaxes and refreshes you, because otherwise you'll burn out very quickly. Before I conclude, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of the staff members who, in the face of a global pandemic, made 2020 such a successful and enjoyable year. Thank you for your tireless efforts in helping the 2020 seniors navigate the highs and lows of the new ATAR system. Nudgee men, this community that you're a part of truly is something special, so never take that for granted. Best of luck this year, work hard, persevere, and make the most of the opportunities presented. Dream big, but always remember that you get what you work for, not what you wish for. So boys, let your light shine. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Declan. And I think it's much more powerful when a student inspires other students rather than teachers trying to tell students what to do. So, Declan, thank you very much for your sincere words, and thank you once again to all of those Year 12 boys and their families who've come back today. We're now going to have a 5-minute recess. So for those boys that are in class or in their PC room with their tutor and teacher, if you could listen to their directions. We welcome our 2020 cohort and their parents to the foyer area. We'll try and get a photo of you guys together with Mr. Fulliger out there, which I think will be a really lovely photo for our next newsletter and perhaps other publications. Look, you're more than welcome to come back and have the second part of the assembly, but also I understand you're all men of the world now, you have things to do, so I wish you well for many of you for O Week, and make sure you enjoy O Week. I know I certainly did. But that was a long time ago, we'll leave that one in the history of time. Year 11 and 12 students in the Christian Brothers Centre, and of course our gold, silver and bronze medals winners. Can you stretch your legs please, but don't leave the Christian Brothers Centre, and in 5 minutes Mr. Todd will call you back to order. And finally, those people online, we haven't lost the feed. We will come back, so please don't ring the front office and tell us that the link's gone down. We'll see you in 5 minutes. Thanks very much.
can just refocus their classes. So heading into part B now of today's College Assembly, where we'll be presenting our gold, silver and bronze medalists from last semester. A number of boys who have achieved wonderful things in music will be presented, and we'll hear who has won the Inter-House Swimming Trophy, the first inter-house event, which goes towards the Brother Larkin Shield at the end. Just on that note, just a reminder to prefects for each house. I will call you forward to the front to represent your house as we read out the points for inter-house. And again, to commence part B of today's College Assembly, I welcome to the microphone College Vice Captain Xavier Owati.
Good morning, Mr. Fulliger, staff, parents, my fellow Nudgee brothers. Welcome back, especially to the Nudgee old boys from last year, whose achievements we recognise and celebrate alongside the rest of the school. Despite the troublesome year of 2020, the seniors of 2021 look to achieve similar academic results, inspired by the efforts of those before us. Today we acknowledge the academic achievements of boys from grades 5 to 11. These awards cover semester 2 of 2020. Therefore, those presented today will now be in the next year level. For those new to the school in year 5, you will have the chance to earn your first award next semester. In order, these are the bronze, silver, and gold awards, each representing different levels of achievement in one study. Those earning the bronze award have attained A's in all subjects but 3. The silver award for those who have A's in all subjects but 2, and finally, the gold awarded for students with A's in all subjects but 1. I now invite Deputy Principal Mr. Johnson to the stage to congratulate recipients. And I invite Mr. Corley, Director of the Junior School, to introduce Year 5 and 6 gold, silver and bronze recipients. Congratulations to the boys being presented today, and may we all continue to work hard both in and out of the classroom.
Good morning, Mr. Fulliker, Mr. Johnson, special guests, parents, staff, and men of Nudgee. It's my great privilege to present the academic awards to students in Year 5 and 6. As there are a large number in each group, please hold your applause until the end. In Year 5, the bronze recipients are Daniel Carey, George Dart, Joseph Fenton, Aidan Horan, Alexander Jones, Isaac Newman, Reuben Rayner, and Zach Tatum. Can we please congratulate our Year 5 bronze medalists? In Year 5, the silver award recipients are Lewis Abdi, Sydney Bates, Baden Cluter, Ethan Ferris, Liam Ganley, Caleb Hopsick, Edward McDonnell, Harrison Serini, Noah Chanois, Daniel Simpson, and Archie Youngman. Can we please congratulate our Year 5 silver medalists? In Year 5, the Gold Award recipients are William Bayo, Harper Cameron, James Carroll, Rocco Crockham, Joshua Geinitz, Tobias Grant, Ryan Catme, Owen McGregor, and James Newbecker. Can we please congratulate our Year 5 gold medalists? In Year 6, our bronze medalists are Harrison Byrne, Lucas Black, Jeremy Deacon, Aidan Luke, Eddie Power, Ben Sands, and Jack Walker. Can we please congratulate our Year 6 bronze medalists? In Year 6, the Silver Award recipients are William Campbell, Matthew Fuller, Jackson Gosney, James Gray, Rhys Griffiths, Charlie Henderson, Harrison MacGyver. Can we please congratulate our Year 6 silver medalists? In Year 6, our gold recipients are Ethan Andrews, Jack Burton, William Dellimore, Michael Donovan, Andrew Emery, Jack Gordon, away today, Spencer Green, Roman Jones. Can we please congratulate our first group of Year 6 gold medalists? And finally, also receiving gold in Year 6, Cooper Keel, Tom Cooley, Brody Martin, Alfie Piper, Flynn Toomey, Sean Watkins, Baxter Witteveen. Can we please congratulate our Year 6 gold medalists? And can we please congratulate all of our medalists in Year 5 and 6? It gives me great pleasure to welcome our Director of Learning and Teaching to present our medals for Years 7 to 9, Ms. Natalie Webber.
And I'd like to welcome Mr. Fulliger back to the stage. Good morning, Mr. Fulliger, Mr. Johnson, special guests, parents, staff, and men of Nudgee. It is my privilege to present the academic awards to students in Years 7, 8, and 9. Please hold your applause until the end. In Year 7, the Bronze Award recipients are Angus Casey, Finn Curran, Mark Hilly, Archie Lyons, Piers Parker, and Henry Potter. Can we please congratulate our Year 7 bronze medalists? In Year 7, the Silver Award recipients are Hayden Hamilton, James Hannon, Christian Marsiglia, and Mitchell Vivers. Can we please congratulate our Year 7 silver medalists? In Year 7, the Gold Award recipients are Tejas Ashok, Nate Barnett, Thomas Bayo, Dermot Clancy, who is absent today, Joseph Costigan, Will Dean, Tom Duffield, Matthew Heath, Andrew LaMonica, and Sejin Lee. Can we please congratulate our first group of Year 7 gold medalists? Also receiving a gold award in Year 7 are Will Newbecker, Riley Nixon, Jack Plowman, Alex Smith, Ryan Stewart, Harry Stoneman, Angus Twist, Jack Williams, Michael Williams, Paddy Williams, and Fergus Wright. Can we please congratulate our second group of Year 7 gold medalists? In Year 8, the Bronze Award recipients are Raphael Chase, Devashan Naidu, Jamal Salah, Armitage Sidhu, Darcy Thorne, and Dominic Webber. Can we please congratulate our Year 8 bronze medalists? In Year 8, the Silver Award recipients are Charlie Bell, Akira Chen, Patrick Cook, Riley Doherty, Gabe Jerry, Lockie Hunter, Hunter Island, Ryan Crow, Elliot Mills, Fred Nash, Charlie Parker, Alex Patty, Baxter Vole, and Hugo Wendt. Can we please congratulate our Year 8 silver medalists? In Year 8, the Gold Award recipients are Liam Astbury, Patrick Burkhard, Xavier Katuli, Kai Dawan, Benjamin Ditchburn, George Gillam, Cooper Hunter, Sam Cooley, Michael Malone, Dusty Piper, Oscar Rawati, Avnish Sadhu, Jamie Waddington, and Matthew Walker. Can we please congratulate our Year 8 gold medalists? In Year 9, the Bronze Award recipients are Jackson Armistead, James Butel, Ned Clark, who is absent today, Alexander Grana, Davis Jacobs, Mladen Markovic, Lachlan Meager, Jack Mitchell, who is absent today, Zachary Peach, Damien Rigg, Jack Smith, Zeke Waters, Thomas Williams, and Declan Wright, who is absent today. Can we please congratulate our Year 9 bronze medalists? In Year 9, the Silver Award recipients are Jackson Andrews, Luke Cowley, Roman DeClara, Ramesh Devardison, Jack Dwayne, who is absent today, Jack Gunter, William Gunter, Christopher Hernick, Samuel Houston, and Hayden Malone. Can we please congratulate our first group of Year 9 silver medalists? Also receiving a silver award in Year 9 are Dylan McGrath, Alex Patterson, Elliot Shaw, Cooper Swain, Finlay Tokarczuk, Samuel Watson, Reinhard Wenzel, Boston Wheeler, Thomas Woodhead, and Daniel Wright. Can we please congratulate our Year 9 silver medalists? In Year 9, the Gold Award recipients are Jackson Copeland, Xavier Corrie, Dean Deftros, William Duffield, Aidan Easton, Daniel Fuller, Jacob Gillum, Mitchell Gray, Cooper Johnston, Oliver Johnston, Oliver Keel, Patrick Kennedy, and Michael LaMonica. Can we please congratulate our first group of Year 9 gold medalists? Also receiving a gold award in Year 9 are Wade Lucas, Thomas Mallet, William Mason, Anthony Maneo, Daniel Neal, Harrison Palathorpe, who is absent today, Joseph Rowland, Louis Toaldo, Patrick Townsend, Callum Turner, Dylan Watson, Jack Weaver, and Joseph Wetch. Can we please congratulate our Year 9 gold medalists? I would now like to welcome the Director of Pathways, Ms. Lyon, to the stage.
Thank you, Ms. Webber. Good morning, Mr. Fulliger, special guests, parents, staff and men of Nudgee. It is my privilege to present the academic awards to students in Year 10 and 11. Please hold your applause until the end. In Year 10, the Bronze Award recipients are Javier Burke, Harry Blackmore, Oliver Bryans, Edward Chapman, Ryan Davey, Oliver Evangelista, Aidan Evans, Alec Fuentes, Winston Jory, Inigo Lawrence, Janindu Ederasinga, Al McEwen, can we please congratulate our first group of Year 10 bronze medalists? Also receiving bronze awards in Year 10 are Joshua Nemo Stark, Samuel Power, Nate Preen, Alex Romano, Gus Rossell, Connor Rowan, Kenjin Sato, Alexander Simshauser, Jack Thomas, and Darcy Turner. Can we please congratulate our Year 10 bronze medalists? Sorry, an additional recipient is Isaac Mills. Oh, there he is right down the bottom of that other page. Sorry, Isaac. It was terrible of me. Okay. All right. We'll see how we go with the silver medalists. In Year 10, the recipients are Matthew Bexton, Alessio Bianchi, Luke Blackwell, Owen Collins, Thomas Cannellan, Luke Doig, Gabriel Fuentes, Ryan Haddon, Joshua Hagenbach, and Jack Hallett. Can we please congratulate our first group of Year 10 silver medalists? Cooper Luce, Hamish Needham, Caleb O'Mealy, Kieran O'Shea, Luke O'Sullivan, Kieran Pye, Tom Sands, Nate Scott, Dan Seaton, and Michael Ware. Can we please congratulate our Year 10 silver medalists? In Year 10, the Gold Award recipients are Lachlan Bancroft, Lachlan Barrett, Elliot Brown, Jim Collins, James Duffy, Josh Ford, Ben Gunter, Darcy Hardwick, and Thomas Malone. Can we please congratulate our first group of Year 10 gold medalists? Also receiving a gold award in Year 10 are Johnson Maraveka. Ronan Prout. Yashadan Rayani. Harry Rawati. Thomas Robertson. Lachlan Russell. Jaden Spiteri. Andrew Tora. And Archie Wallace. Can we please congratulate our Year 10 gold medalists? In Year 11, the Bronze Award recipients are Jack Barry, Nicholas Bell, Morgan Chippendale, Harry Coventry, Darcy Dunstan, Alexander Evans, Douglas Gemmell, Shannon Gerard Solka, Setham Gunawadina, Joey Kingston, and Franco Lim Santos Faria. Can we please congratulate our first group of Year 11 bronze medalists? Also receiving bronze awards in Year 11 are Ben McGinty, Zach McGinty, Jake McGrory, Spencer McLeod, Jesse Meyer, Tyler O'Keefe, Ethan Petkos, Joshua Reed, William Smith, Zach Smullen, and Oscar Tualdo. Can we please congratulate our Year 11 bronze medalists? In Year 11, the Silver Award recipients are Ashton Bond, Maxwell Considine, Fletcher Dunn, Dylan Eastland, Leo Fairley, Matthew Johns, Samuel Klein, Dylan Lawrence, and Zachary Manita. Can we please congratulate our first group of Year 11 silver medalists? Also receiving a silver award in Year 11 are Kieran McCarthy, Chad Ullman, Joseph Piccone, George Polar, Aidan Power, Xavier Awati, Samuel Rogers, Danny Tang, and Alex Tran. Can we please congratulate our Year 11 silver medalists? In Year 11, the Gold Award recipients are Gabrielle Allen, Rowan Asprey, Logan Azzopardi, Jesse Dando, Kane Day, Lachlan Doherty, Mitchell Doyle, Joshua Ferns, Jack Fuller, and Jack Harkins. Can we please congratulate our first group of Year 11 gold medalists? Also receiving a gold award in Year 11 are Atticus Johnston, Nikhil Lawani, Hunter Lim, Lockie McGarry, Oliver Misso, Ian Pantaleon, Luke Rowan, Harrison Smythe, Declan Townsend, and Simon Vollett. Can we please congratulate our Year 11 gold medalists? Can we please congratulate all of our Year 10 and 11 academic award recipients? Thank you very much.
Congratulations to all boys who received a medal today. Ladies and gentlemen, for the second and final time today now, we're going to have a brief break, including all of those, of course, back in the classroom. So boys, if you've just received a medal and you know mum and dad are here, you might quickly say goodbye to them. Boys sitting in the hall here, if we can have a stretch. And before we see our musicians presented and hear who's won inter-house swimming, we will have a 3-minute break. That's what today's about. And mums and dads, you're welcome to stay as well. But I'd ask now that people in the hall, if you can just retake your seats. To those of us back in the classroom, if we can refocus now. Two final pieces before our traditional 3 cheers and college song. We're hearing about boys who have achieved wonderful things in music. And then we'll be hearing who's won the first inter-house event of 2021. So Nudgee men, if we can quietly take our seats now. And we welcome to the microphone Director of Performing Arts, Mr. Stewart.
Thank you, Mr. Todd. Good morning, Mr. Fulliger, colleagues, parents and carers, and gentlemen of Nudgee College and our friends watching online. Today I will be presenting to you boys who have completed external exams in Term 4 of 2020 through the Australian Music Examination Board and the Australian New Zealand Board of Music as well. Some boys are not with us, but I will call out their names. First we have ANSCA Preparatory with first class honours, Hayden Rowling. I'm sorry, sir. I forgot to invite our college vice captain, the arts, and Mr. Fulliger to come and present some certificates. Just conscious of time, I wanted to go as quickly as possible. Sorry about that. Yeah. Not here today is Hayden Rowling, who received first class honors. For AMEB ANSCA Preliminary, not here Eric Fitzgerald, who received honors. Eric Fitzgerald, who is here, honors. Rushayan Naidu. Not here is Fletcher Stack, and also not here is Curtis Taylor, first class honors. Thanks, guys. Take your seats quickly, thank you. Amy B. Anska, grade 1, not here Samuel Chambers. Liam Ganley, honors. Lachlan Pattison. William Plowman, who is not with us. Jaden Walker, honors. Grade 2, Caden Burton Demers. Michael LaMonica. And not with us today, Lachlan Lawless. For grade 3, Andrew LaMonica. And once again, Michael LaMonica with honors. And Archie Wallace with honors. In grade 5, Janindu Erdesinge. In grade 6 AMEB and grade 6 Rock School, Dakota Burton Stelling. Mladen Markovic. And grade 6 Rock School, Ben Neal. Can we please congratulate these boys? Thank you. Okay, go where you need to go. People to go. Janindu, that way. Every year, the Queensland Conservatorium Griffith University runs programs called the State Honours Ensemble Program and the Australian Honours Ensemble Program. The State Honors Ensemble program, also known as SHEP, brings together students representing their schools from all over the state. They run a SHEP secondary, a SHEP primary, and a SHEP middle school. Middle school and primary normally happen earlier in the year, about June, but due to COVID, they were moved to November. We have a number of boys present, some absent, and I would like to present them now. For State Honors Ensemble Program Primary, we have Samuel Duffy, Toby Grant, James Gray, Rushayan Naidu, Lachlan Pattison, and Ben Sands. And for Shep Middle School, we have Wade Lucas and Thomas Mallet. Can we congratulate these boys for representing the college? Thank you. It is now my pleasure to welcome to the microphone Morgan Chippendale, our college vice captain for the arts, to introduce to you your GPS music team and crew.
Good morning, Mr. Fulger, staff, parents, and my fellow Nudgee brothers. Each year, the top musicians from the 9 GPS schools gather to form a concert band, a symphony orchestra, and a choir. This year, Nudgee is lucky enough to have an abundance of boys elected and eligible. Congratulations to Lachlan Barrett, Oliver Bryans, Mitchell Doyle, Fletcher Dunn, Matthew Johns, Michael LaMonica, Wade Lucas, Thomas Mallet, Hayden Malone, Will McLean, Ben Neal, Harry Rawadi. And our reserves for this year, Janindu Ederasingi, Zachary Manita, and Jaden Spiteri. Please congratulate our musicians. Also this year, we are able to recognise our AV team that will be doing all the lighting, sound and filming for the night. Lachlan Canty, Billy Caslin, Cooper Corcoran, Lee Chu Clark, Alexander George, who is absent, Sebastian Gillies, Jared Lockett, Benjamin Ryan, Oscar Tawaldo, and Jaden Walker. Please congratulate our AV team.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying with us across what has been an excellent, but obviously quite long assembly today. So just some final words, boys, so that we know what's going on across the next week. a couple of important messages, and then let's celebrate the inter-house swimming that we had last week. So Nudgee men, we're finishing our parent nights that some of your parents will be at in 5 and 6 tonight, and year 9 and 10 tomorrow. Boys from Magee, Riley, Fogarty, Ross and McKenna, you have your house breakfasts this week, and I know many of you will accompany your parents to those. And I thank your house deans and PC tutors for their presence along with your parents. I'd encourage people to stay on Friday afternoon after school to enjoy our cricket season launch, which is a very, very entertaining game of T20 cricket, which is probably only second to the Big Bash League, the show that Nudgee puts on. So I very much encourage you to be part of that after school on Friday. Nudgee men, a story very quickly connected to a slight change in policy on us using Bede's Cafe. So Nudgee men, in the early 2000s, Bede's Cafe was created in the McHenry Centre, and it was created effectively to service mums and dads who would come to learn to swim. The added benefit of that was that many boarding families and Nudgee families would visit students and use that, as well as staff. But gentlemen, Bede's Cafe was set up as an adult space from day one, with the ability to serve boys before school and after school. But I'll put my hand up to say in recent years, we've just lost focus of that a little bit, and it's somewhat become a bit of a space that we can get things that aren't at the tuck shop, or perhaps use that space as an alternative to the tuck shop, which is not what it was ever for. So gents, we're refocusing our policy there. So back to what it was. So up to 8:20 in the morning, you are really, really welcome to use that space and to get whatever you would like to get for breakfast before school starts. After school at 2:55, again, you can head there for something after school you would like to have to sustain you, perhaps if you're staying on at Nudgee for a while. However, through the school day, Bede's Cafe will be an adult space, and we wouldn't be sitting in that space whether we had bought anything or not. I would mention to year 11 and 12 students, gentlemen, along with a few other things where we recognise your maturity, but also what goes with that is high expectation. If you at morning tea and lunch wish to get a takeaway coffee or some takeaway food in year 11 and 12, that is okay before you then move on, but not to take up that space, please. So that's a refocus on our policy for Bede's boys. Well done on the way that the whole school community has responded to the mobile phone policy refocus. I know some boys have been a little bit forgetful, but when they have been approached by people like myself and others, they have been respectful in acknowledging that they have done the wrong thing there, and we'll keep doing that. Okay, gents, let's call forward now all of our house prefects up the front and Mr. Fulliger onto the stage. So house prefects, if you could just make a line, please, boys, not on the stage, but just at the front row here. Now, I must also warn Nudgee gentlemen and parents watching from home, in recent years, I've not revealed in anything all of the places. We've divided them up into highly commended and so on. The college leaders have given me very strong feedback from the student body that we want to hear 9th to 1st. A bit brutal, but let's go. In 9th place on 257 points, Barrett House. In 8th place, somewhat of a walk of shame, in 8th place on 260 points, Riley House. In 7th place, on 271 points, McKenna House. And we're close in a couple of bunches now. In 6th place, on 290 points, Ross House. And 2 equal fourths, Mr. Todd's not making that up, 2 houses on 299, Shaw and Teeny in 4th place. If I can invite the remaining house prefects to the stage, please. So, ladies and gents, it was one of the most hotly contested and evenly contested swimming carnivals we've had in some years, and that's because the level of boys turning up to be involved across houses. 3 houses have pulled away to be over 300 points. So, in 3rd place on 320, McGee House. So, gentlemen, the 2nd place getter got 326 points, and the 1st place getter was 337 points. Close. In 2nd place this year, Fogarty House. Well done, Duggan House. Just a reminder to Year 11 and 12 students, Year 11 and 12, we've just got about 3 minutes of messages for you at the end. Well done, Duggan House prefects and Duggan House. Ladies and gentlemen, Charlie Stack today is going to lead us in 3 cheers. Thanks, Charlie. Thank you, Charlie. So again, Year 11s to stay, Year 11s and 12s at the end. Gentlemen, let's all be upstanding now for the college song. Okay, thank you. Congratulations.